Today, we're diving into a really powerful story from the first century historian Josephus. It's about a leader named John Hyrcanus, who was both a high priest and a king. And he gets trapped between his sacred duties and, well, the brutal realities of staying in power. His story asks some incredibly tough questions that, honestly, leaders are still dealing with today.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Can you be a good person, a righteous leader, and still win? Or does power always demand a terrible price? We're going to explore this through two huge defining crises in the reign of John Hyrcanus.
So, Hyrcanus doesn't exactly inherit a peaceful kingdom. He becomes high priest right after his own father, Simon, is murdered at a feast. And the killer? His own brother-in-law, a guy named Ptolemy, who wanted the throne for himself. So from day one, Hyrcanus' rule is born from violence and this heavy duty of getting revenge.
So what's his first move? It's pretty clear-cut. He marches his army to the fortress of Dagon, where Ptolemy is holed up. But here's the twist. Ptolemy isn't just defending a fortress. He's holding Hyrcanus' own mother and brothers hostage inside. All of a sudden, this isn't just politics anymore. This is deeply personal.
And this throws him straight into the first big test of his leadership. And it's a truly cruel dilemma, one that's designed to completely break him. This isn't a test of military strategy. It's a test of his deepest human feelings, his love for his family. Ptolemy's response is just monstrous. He drags Hyrcanus' family up onto the fortress walls, right where Hyrcanus can see them, and he has them whipped and tortured. It is pure psychological warfare, aimed right at the heart of the man in charge. But in this moment of absolute horror, his mother shows this unbelievable strength. Josephus tells us that she actually reaches out her hands and begs her son not to stop the attack because of her. She tells him it's better for her to die as long as that monster Ptolemy is punished for what he's done. So his mother is demanding justice. His duty as a king is demanding justice. But seeing her suffering with his own eyes, it's just too much. The historian says he was entirely overcome by his affections. His anger just evaporates. His resolve crumbles. And the attack grinds to a halt because he just can't stand to be the cause of her pain. And here you can just see him being torn in two. On one side, you have the cold, clear logic of his duty as a king. On the other, you have this overwhelming, raw, human pull of compassion. He is completely stuck between being a king and being a son.
And that hesitation, it was absolutely catastrophic. The delay drags on for so long that it runs into the Sabbath year, a religiously required year of rest when warfare was forbidden. This forces Hyrcanus to call off the siege entirely, and Ptolemy, he's now free. Before he escapes, he murders Hyrcanus' mother and brothers. The very compassion that stopped Hyrcanus led directly to the brutal murder of the people he was trying so desperately to save.
But the story is far from over. Hyrcanus soon faces a second and maybe even greater trial. Only this time, it's not just his family on the line. It's the entire holy city of Jerusalem and the very survival of his kingdom. A powerful foreign ruler, King Antiochus, surrounds Jerusalem with a massive army. So now the tables have turned. Hyrcanus is the one trapped behind walls, his people are starving, and his entire nation is right on the brink of being wiped out. The situation looks completely hopeless. Antiochus does offer a way out, but the price is just staggering. 3,000 talents of silver. I mean, that's an absolutely impossible fortune for a city that's under siege and cut off from everything. So the question becomes, where on earth do you find that kind of money when you have nothing left? When your entire kingdom is starving and surrounded, Hyrcanus is forced to think about the unthinkable. He does something truly shocking, something desperate. He goes to the tomb of King David, the most sacred king in Jewish history, a holy site, and he breaks it open. He takes the treasures buried inside to pay the ransom. Now, let's be really clear about what this means. This wasn't just grave robbing. For the high priest, the spiritual leader of the entire nation, to desecrate the tomb of King David, this was a profound religious crime. It was sacrilege, plain and simple. And yet, it worked. The bribe gets paid, Antiochus and his army pack up and leave, and the city is saved from being destroyed. His sacrilegious act was, from a practical standpoint, a huge success. So, what are we supposed to make of all this? These two moments, these two impossible choices, they really define the reign of John Hyrcanus and force us to look at the really messy, contradictory nature of power. And this is the terrible, gut-wrenching irony of it all. In his first test, he followed his heart, he chose mercy and compassion, and it led to the death of his family. In his second test, he betrayed his sacred duty, he chose sacrilege, and it led to the salvation of his entire nation. And the story doesn't even end there. The money from David's tomb didn't just pay off Antiochus. Hyrcanus used the rest of it to hire foreign soldiers, making him the first Jewish leader ever to rely on a mercenary army. That single act of sacrilege fundamentally and permanently changed what his kingdom was all about.
And so all of this leaves us with this final, haunting question. Hyrcanus's righteous choice led to total failure, while his sinful choice led to incredible success. It forces us to ask, what is the ultimate cost of power? At what point does saving your nation justify an act that might just condemn your own soul? That's the impossible weight that people who rule have to carry.